I worked over 20 years in software development with many, many software teams and with many, many software projects. And I came to the conclusion that I believe now is one thing is true about software development and how a team will get mapped to the results. But before I explain this principle, let me tell you the story about earlier this year when I hired someone to work on a software product, which I bootstrapped, which I brought to a state where it would work for a client. And I asked this developer to continue this and add a couple of features. And I liked this guy. It was a super nice person, communication was nice, but the results were not there. He was not living up to the standard that I put in the software. And I just saw that this project won't get any better with this person working on it. And I liked the guy, as I said. And I thought, okay, can I keep him maybe? Can I teach him a bit? So I put him on the next project. And what happened was exactly the same thing. And this made me remember about this Einstein quote. Basically is, if you try the same thing twice and you expect different outcomes, this is the definition of insanity. And this got me to the conclusion that when we're actually talking about software development teams, these are like functions. If you haven't studied math, that's totally cool. I can explain this. Maybe you've seen this. A function is this one. It's a mapping from an input value to an output value. And it won't get more strange than this. It's going to be very easy. So basically what we're talking about, it's the assignment of some input values to output values. So a function basically is this. You can map the input over to the output like this. This is a valid function. Not all the values in the output set are hit. That's cool. This would work. And what I basically did, I did this. And this is not a function. If you have the same input value, you will, in this case, get different results, let's say of different times of the day. And this is not a function. So a function is this. One input will produce one output. And this brings us back to the teams now. If you have a certain team, this is a function of the team here. This is going to be the result. So if there are people who have no clue what they're working on, in my case, it's just only one developer here. If I now do this thing again, and I would have another project, it's the same function because the result is it's the same input with the function of that team applied to this input gives us the result, which is always bad. So if you do the same thing again, just if you copy the thing on the left side of the equation, you would get the exact same thing on the right side of the equation. And this was the thing I was not seeing. And it opened my eyes that I saw nothing's going to change. So let's say you want to modify that, right? Let's say you want to get a better quality. So you would take one developer out and you add a manager. So now the output will change because the manager is probably going to add better quality assurance. Output is going to be better, and you take the developers out, or one developer, and you have a bit of a lower speed. So this happens. And if you have another project with the same people, you would get the same output. Of course, the matter is going to change, but the actual output velocity and the quality, all this will stay the same. And yeah, there are people who have this 1x, the 10x developer, someone who gets hired just like a contractor, charges a high price, understands the business value exactly, and they're able to ship a very high quality software. For example, what happens a lot is these indie hackers. There's even a website for it. Now it's more of a news page, but there are many, many people there who build their own businesses, and they're usually just solo developers. And these people can ship over and over again because they learned how to ship fast once, and then they can do it over and over again. This is why you see so many people in the indie hacker space with many products that are actually of high quality, and they continue shipping. I put this in a blog post. If you agree with this, you can check out the blog post and subscribe to my email list. I put out more posts like this. And if you don't agree, I'm happy to hear your thoughts. Just write a comment below. I would love to start a discussion with you here.